There are two different ways to measure the size of an angle. One is the degree measure, where a degree is simply 1/360th of a complete revolution around the circle. 1 degree is very small, of course, then. And 90 degrees makes a right angle. 180 degrees makes a straight line or half of a complete revolution around. 270 degrees, and then a complete 360 degree revolution. Okay. Now, besides the degree measure, there's also something called the radian measure of an angle. The radian measure is determined by taking the length of the arc that's intercepted by the angle and dividing it by the length of the radius. Here the length of the arc is about 3.6 centimeters, the radius about 5.03 centimeters. When we divide those two, we get about 0.72 for the radian measure of the angle. In other words, this arc length is about 72% of the radius of the circle, or it would take about 70% of the length of the radius to wrap around this arc. Okay. Now, if we go to a 180 degree angle, you see that the arc length is 3.14, or pi lengths of the radius. In other words, we know it takes pi lengths of the radius to wrap half of the way around the circle, and when we divide the length of this arc by the radius, we're going to get pi. And so that gives us a conversion formula. We know that 180 degrees corresponds to pi lengths of the radius. And so we can use that as a conversion factor to convert between degree measure and radian measure.